Hello everyone, it's Jennifer and thank you for joining me. I am going to be using this gorgeous pendant from Adornable Elements that I got in my Findings Companion Pack. The Findings Companion Pack is an add-on that you can tack on to your monthly subscription with Adornable Elements, and I'm going to put links in the description. Plus, the last few videos I have been able to release have all been Adornable Elements, just because I don't know about anybody else that has been uploading to YouTube, but I've had such a difficult time over the weekend. And so, I mean, it would be hours, 6 hours, and it's still 10% uploaded for a 17-minute video. And so it's just kind of crazy. So I've been trying to work through all of that. So you're going to see tons of videos all at one time being released, just because I'm trying to do as much as I can to get them released as they are available. All right, so if you remember, we made a bracelet using some of those flat oval fire polish and some of the little tiny, like 3mm light teal fire polish. And so just made a nice little magnetic clasp bracelet here. There we go. Pretty, pretty. Well, we are going to make the match to this in the form of a necklace. And we are going to use, this fun little pendant that it's pretty cool how you attach this to your beading wire. But first, what I'm going to do is I've taken some of those little 3mm and just took some of I have some TierraCast head pins and just made some simple loops on them and then attached them to this link. And what I usually do is when not that I'm not a simple loop expert at all, but what I'll do is I'll put my chain nose pliers here, and then I'll just kind of gradually just kind of let go a little bit and turn it to where I get the 90-degree angle. But since this is such a small bead, I can't do that. I'm having a hard time. So what I've been doing is just taking my thumbnail, putting it right up against there, and bending it to try and get that 90-degree angle. So I kind of get it, but I don't get it completely. And so I just keep on trying until I get it as close to 90 degrees. Then I don't want a huge loop, so I am coming down just about here. And then I am saving my scraps. So I have my scraps in here because those would make for good more links, maybe even for these teardrop beads here. So we're just saving them so that we can use them. And then I have the same color of wire throughout the piece. And so now I'm just I'm just rolling backwards until I get that looking like that. So for you simple loop experts, how is that? Is that okay? Did I do that okay? Did I do it right? I'm a wire wrap loop person, and so I just really, really struggle with these. So now all I'm doing is I want the opening to be in the back because I've put them in the back for all the others. And so now I'm just going to come in and close this off. When I did this, I could stand up, look under the microscope. Can't do that here. Cannot do that here. So I'm going at a different angle. But did I get that on there okay? I think I did. And if it doesn't look even, just come in with your chain nose pliers, what I did, and just very carefully just kind of push, because you can break those little fire polish beads. All right, so we have one more to fill in. I did have an extra head pin because I think I'm going to add a dangle at the end of the necklace. And also too, so these are, I can't remember if these are 21 gauge or 22 gauge, but they're pretty sturdy for being, I know they're not 20 gauge. they are pretty sturdy, but anything TierraCast is amazing in my eyes. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and bend that to try and get my 90-degree angle. Again, not the most professional way to do it. And I'm going to come in about there. And then get my round nose pliers, and I want it flush. I don't want it sticking out. And then I am just rolling until I get it straight up and down, which it's not yet. And I don't think it is still. Let's get it a little bit more straight up. There we go. So it's a little bit centered. Well, you want it to be completely centered. Okay, so now let's go ahead and get this on here. And did I open it up enough? I must not have opened it up enough. Okay, let's open it up a little bit more. And I know I could probably use another pair of chain nose pliers to go up against it, but I did not do that. Okay, and then there we go. Isn't that pretty? And so what I thought of doing was, I have these two flat ovals that I want to use. And now look at there. I have a nice little container, maybe for seed beads or just for a leftover. So say you have a bead mix and you have just a few beads left over, just pop them in there. You're done. All right, so I was thinking of doing something down the line of doing a couple and then doing a couple, doing a couple, and doing a couple. However, though, I guess I'm not going to use those. We will put those off to the side. Then I have some TierraCast chain. Love their chains too. I'm just a TierraCast fan. Okay, so I have some TierraCast chain and I'm going to attach it here, just like so. So we're going to have a focal. It's not going to be very long. And those, I think that's it. I think that's all I'm going to do right there. And that's good enough. And then I will add a dangle to the back and it will just be a couple of beads. And then we'll go ahead and put the rest of these away. And, you know, I might do a choker with just this. And so I'm going to wait on my dangle. So we're going to come back to the dangle. All right. So here we go here. Now, I don't need this to be very long. Of course, you know, I like to work from the spool. It does get a little difficult though when you're working with like a pendant or something, and the way this pendant is just killer. All right, so let's go ahead and get these threaded on. So it's not going to be very long of beading strand here. See if I can get this on here. Some of them don't go all the way through. I would not recommend using a beading awl for these guys because they could break. I got that through. Sometimes you just have to go through the other side. I love these colors together. Adornable did such a great job with this fire polish pack. I am so excited. As you can tell, I'm using everything from here. All right, so are you ready to see this? Well, if this isn't your first Adornable video that I've done using this yet, then you've already seen it. But so you thread it through the back. Okay, let's see if we can get it a little closer. Thread it through the back, okay? Then you thread it through the center, and then it'll come right back out this other side. Is that not cool or what? Look at that. You know, that looks pretty just all by itself. Just like that. Because of this wire. I don't think I'm going to use chain. I know, I change my mind all the time, you guys. I'm so sorry. So let's go ahead and get these guys threaded on. This is what happens. I have something in mind. Sometimes I will be honest with you. Sometimes I get the beads out, I put them out on my mat, and I really do not know what I'm going to do. Even with having my findings out and everything, I'll have lobster clasp. I'll have everything that I think I'm going to need. I'll have them out, but I don't know exactly what I'm going to do until I start working through them. And this one's just not going to go through. So we're going to put that one off to the side and grab another one. We'll just grab one so that I don't accidentally put another one on there. But this is absolutely stunning. I love it, love it, love it. And I just love it with the no chain. I mean, I love the chain, don't get me wrong. Chain's amazing, and we might make this to layer it because I'm thinking that I'm going to make a choker with the rest of these 3mm. And I think I might make a choker with that. This one's not going to be very long either. I don't want it to be very long. I just want it to sit like on the chest. So I'm just going to carefully move this up and carefully move this up, just because sometimes you can coil up beading wire and I don't want to coil it up. I've done it. I've done it when I've had, how did I do it? I did it when I think it was a wire guard actually. And I was, it was a wire guard and I was, I needed the wire guard way down here. And so I went through the wire guard super quickly and no, it didn't bode very well. Now you could add a little something on the end if you feel like you want to have it stay, but it's not going anywhere. They're in there nice and tight. And so let me check and see how long I want this. Let me put this guy away so I don't think. You know how when you get done putting something together and you find one screw and you are all of a sudden in a panic because where does that screw go? And you just put together, you know, a 500 pack of screws into a big, humongous piece of furniture, and now you have one screw. Yeah, so no, not doing that. Okay, so let's put that off to the side. I'm going to verify length and I'll be right back. Okay. So this is actually perfect because then once I get my wire wrapping done on this side, that'll be good. And I know that my clasp is going to have to go over here because, there we go. I know that my clasp is going to go on this side because this is the front. And not that everybody is right-handed, but I do tend to do more on the right-handed side as far as when I'm making my pieces. Now, I'm going to grab, let's see here. Let's grab that. And then I want a nice big chunky, it's open. I know it's open. I don't like doing open on necklaces or bracelets, but for this one I am. Okay, so let's go ahead and add our little 2x2 crimp tube. Okay, so I'm back. Did not like how that crimp tube, I ran out of my crimp tubes from Kelly's, and so I just had these, and they're pretty much junk. So what I'm going to do is I am going to grab some of my crimp tubes from Soft Wax. Now, yes, these are gold. I understand. They're not antique brass. That's okay, because these are kind of gold, right? Then we're going to bring in our magical crimper, and we're going to start this over again. Okay. That was really ugly. I'm glad I didn't. I'm glad I can edit out because it was really ugly. And I always remember Kelly Sutton always saying, your crimp tubes are very important. And you know what? She couldn't be more right. Okay, so let me just bring this down a little bit so I have a little bit of room. And then let's go ahead and thread on this guy. Even though I know he's open, he's an open jump ring, we're still going to go ahead and thread him on. This should not be this difficult, and I'm probably not on camera. But now that I crimped it down and everything, my wire is okay. So here we go. And let's bring those together, which they're pretty much together. All right, so now what we're going to do is we are going to do some magical crimping right now. And what the magical crimper does is it gives you like a bead-like finish. So there's one well in this one, okay? And you just have to make sure you get this in the center. And then you give it a squish. Okay, so I'm squishing. Again, my wires are not crossing. And you get like this square. Then you turn it on its side, get in the middle again, and you give it another squish. Then you just start turning it. And as you turn it, there's added tension onto that little crimp tube. Well, it's 2x2. And as I'm going around here, once I stop feeling the tension, then I know I am done with my crimping. And I'm not feeling any more tension, and there we have, and it's like a bead-like finish. And that's cute, even though it's not antique brass, it's okay. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and come in with our cutter. We try to get as close as we can to that crimp tube, and everything looks good. Now, there is a little bit of wiggle room. So since we didn't basically tie these off, I can try to get pretty close to middle, but we can always adjust. We can always adjust that once we get this all put together. Okay, so I mean, this is where I want it. This is definitely where I want it. I am going to attach this directly, so I want to make sure that that it's all nice and closed up, nice and neatly, and it pretty much is. This one's, I mean, this is solid. I think it's a 7 or 8 millimeter jump ring, and it is solid. Okay, let me grab my little wire guard. So I'm going to put on my crimp tube. Love these crimp tubes. These are gold filled too, by the way. And, you know, Softflex is near TierraCast, logistically. All right, so now let's go ahead and put that on there. Let's get this guy on because he is pretty thick. Okay, let's go ahead and use our guy there. Okay, so now let's try to get, because this is the length I like. So I need to try and get to about right there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and just, you see how it kind of coils up a little bit? It's because I closed off that wire guard. That's why. Okay, here we go. Let's get to pulling. All right, so let's see where we're at. And we are very, very close. So I'm going to call that good. See if we're crossing. It doesn't look like we're crossing. Are we Yep, we were crossing. Okay, so now let's go ahead and get that up there like so. And now let's go ahead and get this guy closed off a little bit better. Now what I want to do is get my crimp up there. I don't want my wire to come out over here, but now let's go ahead and place this in the middle and give it a squish. And then we have our little square where the four, if you can see, let me see if I could do this. If you look, the four corners are all pinched off. Now, granted, this took me a while to figure out how to do. And I'm very comfortable doing it when I have nice open space like this. When it's in tight quarters, you know, if there's seed beads or something, I get a little nervous. Okay, and there we go. Up almost. I can see. Yep. Okay. Let's get turning. And I can tell because when I go to crimp down, if this part moves, I know that it's still touching somewhere, and that's it. That's good to go. All right, let's go ahead and give this a trim. And I try to get down as close as I can to that crimp. And there we go. And again, if it's not exactly even, you can just scooch this around a little bit. Just be very careful. And let's go ahead and get this lobster clasp on there. I've got, I think, almost every single one of my tools that I've been using right here, all right here. Okay, let's open her up. There we go. And then let's close. And there we go. There we have it. Just make sure it's not that, it looks like it's kind of weird, wonky. You kind of want it, you do want it to lock into place. And as you can see, I'm a little off. There we go. All right, so now we have ourselves a gorgeous little necklace. I love it. And then what I want to do is I want to make up one that is just these guys, I feel like. But I don't know, that looks pretty stinking good, just like that. I might make up some more bracelets using this in the same style that I did the that other bracelet in, because I do have these gorgeous, beautiful teardrops. And what else? You know, let's make up another pair of earrings. While we are here, let's make up another pair of earrings. Let's bring in those paddles. Again, I sometimes come up with an idea while I'm sitting here. Let's do that. And then, okay, we got the paddles. Let's bring in the ear wires. Ear wires. We have 3 sets of ear wires. That is incredible. Okay, let's bring in those bead caps. I love those bead caps. Oh, we still need to do something with that too, which I will. That's going to be this gemstone pack. Okay, so now what I want to do is kind of do pretty much similar to what I did with the other one, but let's see. These are 7mm. Oh, those are stunning. Gorgeous. Look at that. So it's almost going to look exactly alike. However, though, what I'm going to do is instead of stacking up the beads here, I'm going to go ahead and tie this one off. So let's go ahead, and since my paddle, I want my paddle to face front, let's do this. You know, I wonder what it would look like with a bead down here. Just bear with me for a second here. Let's see. Let's see what these guys look like down at the bottom. These are 22 gauge, but they're really, oh, there we go. Let's see how this looks. Oh, these FirePolish are just incredible. That is so cute. Oh, I love that. Okay, so now my paddle is facing this way, so I'm going to turn it this way to make my wire wrap loop. And I'm going to go to the tippy tip because it is 21 gauge, even though it is pretty sturdy. We're going to go about here we're going to form over that top barrel. I'm going to hold on to that. I'm going to rotate my wrist. Now I'm going to push this to the back. Now I'm going to go ahead and get that all nice and centered. I come in again with my chain nose pliers. I want to lock that in place. And then I'm going to come in and I am going to wire wrap once, twice, 3 times. Okay, now usually with earrings, I will usually make them and then show you the match. This time we're doing it a little bit in reverse. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and come in with my bent chain nose pliers, and I'm going to just tuck in that little tail there so that it's nice and flush and tucked in with the rest of the wraps. And there we go. That's so pretty. Then what we can do we want to do another one of these? Oh, I have these guys. Though I don't think I have enough to do like a wire wrap. But if we, there's the good flush side. Let's go ahead and come in this way. Let's do a simple loop. Let's make ourselves a little eye pin. Okay, let's go ahead and make sure that's all nice and straight. And it is. Now, let's open this up. Let's get this threaded on there. Okay, I don't know why I put those bent chain nose pliers down. I need them. And let's get that closed off. Is that closed off? It doesn't look like it is completely. No, it's not. I can see now. I have a good angle on it now. Let's go ahead and get that closed. There we go. All right, so here we are here. Now, I already used these in another pair of earrings, so I can't add another one, but do we want to do something like that? Okay, so we're going to go about right here. Let's give it. Now with using that tiny bead, I know that I have enough to wire wrap. And then here we are using our scraps. It's what we do. Let's go here. And I love a wire wrapped loop, especially for like the top. I like it for the top. Let's get that locked in. All right, so now let's go ahead and wrap her up. Oh, I love these. Oh my goodness. And again, I don't want to be sitting on top of that bead because I don't want to break it. But I do want it to get in there nice and tightly. Okay. Oh my goodness. Who else likes these? I love them. And then just come in and just so carefully get that down. And I did. Okay. Oh, they're so pretty. Oh my goodness. Let's go ahead and open this up. Slide this through the back. And there we go. That is so gorgeous. Look at that. All right, I'm going to make the matching pair or the match to this, get some pictures taken, and you will be seeing this soon. So using the Adornable Elements Fire Polish Beads of the Month Club, and also too the companion pack, we were able to put this gorgeous necklace together using some metallics, soft flex beading wire from Soft Flex in the antique brass, and we used some wire guards from Stash, and We used some wire guards, lobster clasp, and some crimp tubes from them, and just kept this nice and simple. And this is so pretty. It's a short necklace, and it is just stunning. I'm going to finish up this other, the match to this earring, get a picture taken, and be done with this one for the day. And so be sure to give this video a huge thumbs up if you like it. Be sure to jump over to Adornable Elements. I'm going to put the link in the description. Use Bella10 and you will get 10% off of your first month's subscription. Check out all the options they have. It is absolutely incredible. It's just amazing, all the options that they have. And the quality is top notch. And also subscribe so you don't miss out on another video. And until next time, have a good one.